Hey there! Today I'm showing you 5 sketchbook ideas for spring. I went to the flower shop and got myself some fresh flowers to copy those, and I really recommend doing this, and not even in spring. You can do this all year round, especially also in winter, because you will always get fresh flowers. And especially in winter, when you don't have those, that's a great idea in my opinion. And it just makes the room look brighter, and it's super cool to treat yourself to some flowers every once in a while. And yeah, I did that to have something to paint and to copy from, and I wanted to do this loose floral bouquet in my sketchbook, and I've really been into doing those flowers recently and those florals. I really want to improve a lot more on that, and therefore I wanted to do this video now because I felt super inspired to do that. And I also got this new brush. It's the Casaneo brush from Da Vinci brushes, and it's amazing. I think it's probably the best synthetic brush out there. It's like natural fur, but it's not natural fur, it's vegan, and it's awesome, and I totally recommend that. And if you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. This is not sponsored, they did not send me this product, I bought it on my own, but if they want to sponsor me, I'm not opposed to that because I really love this brush. So let's talk a little bit about the painting that I did here. I got myself some pink flowers, and I wanted them all to fit together, even though I got different flowers, one of each. I didn't really go for a classical bouquet where you might only have roses and some other things in there just to make it go together. I wanted it to have different kinds of flowers and to have something to copy from. And I think it didn't turn out perfect because I don't really like the shape of this bouquet too much, but I like it anyways, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm still practicing that, so that's just the idea, to get some fresh flowers and then copy the bouquet that you got. And on the other side, I did a similar thing, and I drew this heart shape, and then I used some masking fluid to block this shape out so that it wouldn't get paint on it. And then I painted around that. So I did some washi tape, I used it for the borders, and then I painted the space between the washi tape and the heart shape so that the heart shape would stay white. And you could also do that the other way around and just color the heart. That was my original idea, but then I thought that it would look cool if I did it the other way around. And so I did that, and I painted the same flowers, but a few days later when they looked a bit differently, because some of them started to bloom and the others stopped doing that, and so they looked a little bit different then. And I really love that I have the same colors on the left and on the right page now, but it's still a different painting. And I love that I have this pattern here, this flower pattern, but it still looks really put together because of the borders. So that's a really cool idea. And my first idea was actually to make some letters instead of the heart, or maybe some numbers or something like that. So with this idea, you could do a lot of things. You could do anything with masking fluid and then just paint around it, and then in the end you will have this shape left. So I spread those flowers all around and tried to make it look a little bit even, and to make as much green and pink, and to sort of spread it around and make it look as cool as I could. And I think that the pages really go very nicely together, and pulling off the masking fluid was so much fun. I love this masking fluid. It's a different brand from what I've used before, and this one is just so much better. but I made some mistakes on the heart and then I had to cover those up. And yeah, now it's a light pink shape. It's not perfectly white anymore because my water was dirty and I was so lazy. But it's okay, it looks cool anyways. So I'm not too precious with my art, to be honest. I just do it for fun and the end result is just a bonus. So the next page is some loosely painted butterflies. I did look at reference pictures, but I changed them up a lot and made them look what I felt like, and I felt like pink and blue, and you'll see some orange later on, and just spread them around. I added a lot of details to them, but I wasn't super careful to make them perfect. They look a little bit like children's drawings, maybe. So that was my laptop. Thank you for doing that while I'm recording a voiceover. I bet you heard that, but I'm not gonna record it again or stop now. I don't care. So I started with the next butterflies. Those are orange now. I wanted to have a lot of colors there. And like I wanted to say earlier, I wasn't too precious about making it look very professional or very finished. I wanted to add details, yes, but just have fun with it. And yeah, you hear me say that a lot in my videos, but that's just what I feel like at the moment. Just creating for the heck of it and not really thinking about the outcome. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Sometimes I really don't love it, sometimes I do, and you guys probably think differently. Sometimes I say that I hate something and some of you say that it's really beautiful, and it's probably the other way around as well. Sometimes when I think something is absolutely cool and then it gets less likes on Instagram than maybe something else, but that's just not that important. It's just about creating and enjoying the process and doing something. And I really love that. And once I'm finished, I just move on to the next piece. I don't get too precious about what they look like. So on the next one, I sort of shaved those water soluble crayons because I wanted them to be sharpened, and then I thought, why not use them as watercolors and dump my brush into them. But I have all these little, what are those called, crumbs, and yeah, it kind of ruined everything a little bit. And then I used this technique where you can get these cool backgrounds, but I think it turned out kind of cool, but not as cool as I wanted it to turn out. I saw this idea on Haja Meek's channel. I hope that I say her name right, because she has a lot of tutorials on those water-soluble crayons and I don't know anything about them. But what I learned about them is that I don't want to use them in a more professional way. They are useful for some things and they are probably very different to watercolors. And yeah, there are techniques on those, but I didn't really feel it. I didn't have as much fun with this. I didn't like this background, not because of the way it looked, but I hated that it was so sticky and waxy, and drawing and painting on that one just wasn't really a lot of fun for me. So maybe those crayons are just a messy supply for me where I want to play around with it and not really want to create anything super duper cool. So I don't know, I don't hate this page, but it's not the perfect page, but it's okay. And yeah, it's something that I did and something that I tried and something that you can try as well. It's just a pattern on this background, and you could use any other art supply for that, and you could try the background technique with watercolors as well. I just heard that it works perfectly with those crayons, so I don't know if those are better for that or not. Maybe just try it out. And the next page spread, I basically wanted to do this because of this new brush, because I love it so much and I wanted to paint as many leaves as possible. And therefore I did a double page spread just with leaves and those branches of leaves and in different green tones, and I just played around with this brush and had so much fun. I had such a good time with this one. This is it's a very simple page spread, and maybe I overdid it and did a little bit too many of those, but I just couldn't stop myself because I love the way that this brush feels, and I really needed the practice for painting those leaves. So that was really cool, and yeah, it's just a green page. Maybe you could combine this idea with the one with the heart, where you could do any kind of shape on the page beforehand and then play around with those patterns all around it. I think that would be a really cool idea, and maybe add a little detail, a little something to the page. Or maybe you could also just draw a circle and use some masking fluid and then just paint in the middle of it and use those shapes in there. So I just painted one leaf after another. At first I connected them and made branches, but then I just added one leaf after another, and it's just sort of this forest jungle kind of setting now. It's super green. Maybe you could also add some flowers in there so that it's not just greenery. But well, that's what I did here, and that's the finished page spread, and this was my last idea. I really hope that you enjoyed those spring ideas. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you did so, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!